That's not English, Brian. It's German.
So what I told you is true, from a certain point of view.
Welcome back, everybody, to A Certain Point of View. We are live here on a Monday evening, December 18th, as the end of the year approaches. Believe it or not, Christmas is a week away, which is wild to say. Hope everyone is doing great out there. Thank you so much for joining us. If you follow us on social media, you know that tonight is the last show of 2023. It is the last show before the new year. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Not just planned topics and subjects and discussions, but something happened immediately after we decided on everything for the show that we'll get into here very, very shortly. As you can see, the four of us are back. We're here to discuss everything 2023 and 2024. But before we get going, we do have to give a birthday shout out to our own Jillian Marie. Happy birthday, Jill. Hope it was fun. If you follow her on social media, you know exactly what she did this weekend, how much she remembers. I'm sure she'll explain. I don't know. But Jill, happy birthday. How was your weekend?
Thank you. I'm very tired. I'm very dehydrated.
I still have the rest of Jill's birthday cake in my fridge.
It was
and
so
I've been
good.
snacking on it.
It was so good. That cake was so good. It was so cute. It was a little mermaid cake. A little fish and little fins on it. So pretty. Yeah, so last week was really busy for me just in general. I had a work trip I went on. I was in Texas for a day and then flew back to California, and then the day after that I flew out to Atlanta. So I had 5 flights in 6 days, which is I don't recommend. Unless you're taking like an intercontinental trip, I do not recommend 5
From when
flights.
to when were you in Georgia? I'm confused on that.
I was in Georgia. We landed at 6 a.m. on Friday, and we flew out 7 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it was a very quick trip.
They burst into the room before me and Alex were even up.
We did. We said, "Mom and Dad, it's Christmas," and then
we were
Sean
like,
jumped into the bed.
Huh?
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean, 11 o'clock a.m. is probably pretty late.
it was.
We should have been
it was
up.
earlier than that. It was earlier than that, I think. But so,
I'm
yeah,
still trying to figure out in the picture that you posted, Alex's pantalones.
Oh,
What about him?
What about him?
You seem very naughty list.
What about him, Brian? They look perfectly great to me.
I think they look fantastic. Just saying.
They're actually mine, and I
they're actually
didn't
Molly's.
put
They
them on.
traded.
that tracks.
They traded.
I figured that it would help him distract the boys in their dad joke tournament.
It didn't work because
It didn't work because they were sitting down.
Yeah, and it lasted 5 goddamn hours.
Did he get eliminated almost immediately?
No,
No.
he made it through one round.
He had a lot of jokes specifically about one of our friends, Matt. But
Poor Matt.
they were in it for a long time, and it went on for far too long. I'll just say that.
It was long. Yeah, they need next year. The ladies will set the ground rules next year because the boys don't know how to organize anything.
Tell you what, coming from being a dad jokes rock, and they can go on forever.
There was some very good ones. My favorite one had to do with I forgot how it went, but we were trying to cast a nativity scene play with the people at the cabin, but how am I supposed to find 3 wise men and a virgin in this group? And I lost my goddamn mind. So funny. But yeah,
the basic rules were like whoever laughed was out, and there was also shot taking involved.
Yeah, lots of shots were involved.
I'm sure.
So that's where I wasn't there for my birthday. It just happens to fall on my birthday, the cabin trip this year. But it was an absolute treat. I wish I took more photos, but I was having way too goddamn fun to even think about taking photos. I had to have Sean pull over. I'd have Sean pull over on the way back to the city so I could puke. It's great.
We were up till like 5 o'clock, I think.
We were up until 5 in the morning and woke up at 10.
Yeah,
To leave.
because checkout was at 11.
Spectacular.
It was great. 10 out of 10. Can't wait for
There's a
next
lot
year.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big friend group. Yeah.
That cabin sleeps like 25, 26 people, I think.
Yeah, it was a 10,000 square foot cabin.
Jesus.
With a
For those who
racquetball
don't-
court.
And a movie
10,000
theater.
square feet for a house is very, very large. For those of you who don't know what that means, that is very big.
It's about 19 Volkswagens for
It's very, very big. So the average house is probably about 1,000 square feet. But just think of that.
I was gonna say it's like 10 city houses combined.
Yeah. Molly, anything else to add to Jill's birthday weekend, or does that pretty much sum up everything that you guys did?
It was a great time. I think Jill and Sean got along with everybody great, and
It's always good to hear.
this was
Not,
the first
not
year.
that I'm not surprised, but just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, Sean acts like he's known those boys his whole life.
legit though. Like I don't know what it is with him and those boys, but it's like they're like I mean him and Zach when they first met at Celebration, they were immediately like this. Like
Yeah,
long
Those are the
lost
best
friendships.
friendships.
Yeah. So it's very sweet. It's very cute.
it was adorable. But yeah, that was the first year that we had done that specific cabin, and it was much bigger than the one that we've been going to for years at this point. So it was nice to spread out a little bit, and yeah, it was nice and cozy.
How many actual rooms, like bedrooms, were in that?
10?
Holy shit.
At least 10, I think.
At least 10.
There's like most people shared a room, so there's like 2 beds in most of the rooms, and then one room downstairs had a bunch of bunk beds in it.
For the
Jeez.
single boys. The single
all
boys got the bunk bedroom.
The single boy snore group.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
It's fun.
awesome.
It was a good time.
Brian, how was your weekend?
I'm good. I didn't do too much. I kind of lost my voice from screaming because I had to coach our high school boys basketball team on Saturday because, of course, so I'm on winter break, and on Friday was our last day of school. And every last day before winter break, we do a teacher versus student basketball game. And at the I'm talking literal last second, our boys basketball coach pivoted wrong and completely dislocated his leg.
His
And-
Merry
leg.
Christmas.
His knee. And so,
Oh.
yeah, I'm talking like the buzzer was going off end of the game and it happened.
Mm.
And so he was out of commission and we were scrambling to have someone coach basketball because they were in a tournament the
Oh.
whole entire weekend. So guess who got stuck doing it? And
Woohoo.
my voice is shot. So yeah, other than that, just getting ready to go home to the Bay. See my sister for the first time, I think, this year. I don't even know. It's been forever.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while. So yeah, just getting ready and surviving this hurricane that Jake and I are in right now.
We're supposed to get that tomorrow.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
We've just gotten a bunch of wind today.
ours is wind and rain, pretty strong. But I will say, Sacramento people are dedicated to their Christmas lights because it is like literally 15 to 20 mile per hour winds, pouring down rain, and there are people still like walking up and down, looking at
Christmas
Christmas lights,
Insane.
and even doing those like brew bikes.
Oh, yeah.
You would not catch me on one in this weather right now. You'll probably eventually hear like the basic white girl screaming on the bike to Mariah Carey's music at some point during this show. Maybe even multiple times. But yeah,
Raining.
I was done.
Oh, okay.
I was just
Jake,
saying, yeah.
how was your weekend? You took
My weekend was good. I also
You went to
traveled.
Vegas.
It was Bo's first official plane ride, and we flew to Las Vegas on Thursday night for NFR. For those of you who have probably more than likely never heard of what NFR is, it is
Rodeo.
National Finals Rodeo.
Ooh.
It's one of the biggest events in this country regarding like sporting events. It's think of it as the Super Bowl for rodeo. It's every single event every night for 10 straight days.
Is it connected to
Um,
PBR or is
PBR
it
is like a lower
different?
class of what NFR
Oh,
is.
okay.
PBR is just bull riding. This is steer wrestling,
Got it.
bronc riding, barrel racing, bull riding. It's everything. And they do it every event for 10 straight nights, and every single night there's $100,000 on the line.
dang.
And so not only is there a winner at the end of the event, after the 10 days, there's a winner every single night, and that person walks away with $31,000 every single night. So there's a lot of money on the line. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. We only went to one night, and then my family went and saw Lainey Wilson play on Saturday night. I stayed back with Bo in the hotel on Saturday night. And yeah, it was fun. He did really good on the plane, and it was a nice family trip. The Vegas side of things is whatever. I've never been a Las Vegas fan. It's just
Me
regarding
neither.
the city. I don't really care to visit the city too much, but for events like this, it's cool.
Did you see the Death Star?
So it was good. Yeah, I mean, you see it in the distance. So
I flew over it. That was fun.
yeah, you see
Because
it in the
I
distance.
had a layover in Vegas.
The coolest
from
thing that we
Texas.
got to see was the sphere, which
Oh,
is the
yeah.
first time seeing it. So
What
doing
was
all
it
kinds
doing?
of different designs and everything. I think it had an emoji smile face on it when we were driving by it. They do all kinds of different things.
That's
But
funny.
yeah, so it was a good. I mean, it was a long weekend, but it was a good weekend. Bo did really good, which you can't really complain. So, all right. Well, we're gonna transition. We have a couple things to discuss tonight. The main topic of the show, the two topics I guess you could say are we're kind of going to be recapping 2023 with our favorite things: movies, television, video games, books. Maybe life events, vacations, whatever we want to talk about in that segment, we're going to talk about. And then we're going to kind of just quickly go over maybe some things that we're really, really, really looking forward to in the new year. It is our last show of this year, so why not combine the two, do a yearly roundup of everything regarding 23 and 24. But before we get to that, I mentioned it earlier, right before or right after we kind of set the show earlier today, we got the official news regarding the Jonathan Majors case that he was found guilty. He is now facing up to a year in prison. He'll be sentenced in early February. And within minutes of that news coming out, it was officially revealed that Marvel has cut ties with him. He is no longer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Kang. More than likely, he won't be in some things for quite some time. We're not going to spend too much time on this because I think we all have very similar thoughts on this. We're just going to kind of give our quick reaction to this and then move on from it. It's obviously the biggest story of today, even though I think most of us probably saw it coming. It's interesting just to quickly discuss. The one thing I would like all of us to say is, because this is obviously the big question, is whether or not Marvel's going to recast or if they are going to cut Kang altogether. I just want you guys to say one or the other before we finish the segment. So, Molly, why don't you kick us off? Thoughts on Jonathan Majors, and what do you think they are going to do with his character?
So I have only, because I haven't seen so much of the recent Marvel stuff that's come out, I think I've only seen Kang for Loki season 1.
Oh, you haven't seen Ant-Man 3 yet?
Oh my god.
No.
Okay.
I haven't seen Ant-Man either.
So
That's
I'm
fine.
like,
That's fine.
but that's all that I really know of Kang so far. But I know he's been in
Well,
other stuff since then.
so the actual Kang has only been in Loki season 1 and Ant-Man 3.
Okay.
Kang,
And season, well, kind of season 2.
Victor Timely, a variant, was in season 2, not actual Kang.
And
Okay.
So, well, yeah, he's Kang, but it's anyway. The actual Kang that we're talking about has only been in Loki season 1 and now Ant-Man 3.
Yeah, and I vaguely know the variant stuff because of
Yeah.
Loki. But I think, like you said, this was kind of what I expected to happen. But I think it's the right choice. I think as far as recast versus scrapping that character altogether, I think they could do either at this point in the game, but I don't know how big of a part he really played in Ant-Man 3. So I don't really have a hard opinion either way
Yeah.
on whether or not he gets recast. But I don't know. I think Marvel will probably just recast.
Yeah, I mean, there was news right after all of this that, and this is just all speculation on reporters doing the reports, but that Avengers: The Kang Dynasty is no longer called the Kang Dynasty, but they're calling it Avengers 5. Like, you never really know at this point what's going to happen. I said this in our chat earlier, and I said it in our Discord. It's kind of the best possible situation for Marvel at the moment because Loki season 2 gave them the opportunity to move on from Kang.
It's an easy out.
They could easily move on from the character without ever mentioning or seeing him again, and it wouldn't affect anything that's currently happening. At the same time, I tend to believe that they'll probably recast him, but he won't be a big bad in the MCU. I don't think he'll be a Thanos level threat. I don't think he'll be a Doctor Doom level threat. I think they're just kind of going to solidify him as like this villain who maybe plays a part in a lot of other, strings that are playing, but he's not going to be an Avengers style villain. And I'm okay with that because, I mean, we've talked about it, but all the talk about how Marvel's been going over the last few years, I think it's a good opportunity for them to wipe the slate clean a little bit and try something different. But I do think they'll recast him. So
yeah, just to give him an out, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like an open-ended
for sure
situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jill, Brian.
So I don't really have similar to Molly. I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts and feelings on it, just because I haven't been all that excited about the new phase of Marvel. B, I haven't seen Ant-Man. I thought Loki season 2 was just okay. I'm in the minority with that. But I did see a TikTok from Straw Hat Goofy. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he's a movie.
He's really good.
Movie news TikToker. He's very good.
Really good.
And he was talking about what they should do, and he said, "Well, the buildup for Kang being this phase's bad guy has not been well received at all.
Mm-hmm.
In comparison to like Thanos, where it started with the introduction of the Infinity Stones, and we only got brief little glimpses of Thanos through end credit scenes, and so it was like this really, really intense kind of like long buildup to Thanos. Meanwhile, with Kang, it kind of immediately got shoved in our face, and like it didn't really land, I don't think." So he said what they should do is, I guess there's a scene in Ant-Man where there is a large arena of just a bunch of Kang variants.
It's the post-credit scene.
The post-credit scene. He was saying that the big bat, they should totally scratch everything, because now that we have the X-Men in Marvel, you could easily get any of those big villains and bring them into the mix. He said it should be an end credit scene that starts with that scene, and then the new big bad comes in and just wipes out all those variants in one go.
Why not?
Like
Galactus. Why not?
Yeah, dude. Seriously.
The Beyonder.
Yeah. There's a lot of options. I mean,
there's a lot of stuff they can do.
Marvel has so many big villains or villains that they've never touched before, or that clearly we're all waiting to see that they can easily do this. So
I'm indifferent. I kind of don't really care kind of what they do with him. The thing that I'm more interested is just, I mean, I'd be fine with scrapping Avengers 5 and just figuring out what to do up until Secret Wars. I personally think they need to restructure the whole thing and figure out what they do. I think, to me, the thing that makes me the most curious out of anything is what effect and or if it has any on Deadpool.
I don't think it will.
that's the only thing I really care about. I don't think it will. I think Deadpool is going to be is going to affect more of Secret Wars than anything else. I just don't know. I don't know. I kind of am at the point where I just don't. It's not that I don't care about Marvel. I mean, I'm obsessed with it, but I just kind of just. What is my feelings going to do? It's not going to change anything. So it's like they're going to figure out what they're going to do, and I'm just going to be like, all right. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Just give me more good movies with substance and plot and less all over the place, and I'll be happy with it. I don't really care. I mean, it's kind of, Molly, you can probably relate, but like kind of almost just so tired of the toxicity that it's giving off that I'm just like, I'll just wait till things happen and form my own opinion, especially with like the Marvels. I loved the Marvels. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was really well done. Is it the greatest Marvel movie? No. Is it the worst Marvel movie? No. Is it right in the middle with the ones that I like? Yeah. I don't care anymore. I've learned to just not care. I mean, people are going to hate certain things and people are going to like certain things. And I don't need to know your opinions screaming from the roof.
Mm-mm.
Just do what you're planning to do, and hopefully it's good. And if not, move on from there. I kind of just, yeah, if they recast Kang, great. If they don't, great. As long as you are not making it like so obvious that it's like, oh God, we had to change everything because of this.
Yeah.
Like, just figure out a new plan or change the plan to make it work and go from there. And it's like, I'm exhausted with the constant attacking, of Twitter and just, I mean, I feel like most of us saw this coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there was a chance, but they had that tweet locked and loaded. Like, it was
they were ready.
It was within 5 minutes. What I want to know is if they had one good and one bad one, and it was just
if they wouldn't have said anything if he was found
probably
not guilty. They wouldn't have said anything.
But that thing was locked and loaded. I'm talking within 5 minutes. Yeah. It was done. Hammer.
Now do Ezra Miller next.
Well, that whole thing's done in general. So I don't know. I'm indifferent. I don't really care either way. Go back to just worrying about the stories being told and go from there. I mean, I might be in the minority. I enjoyed a lot of the stuff that came out recently. Was it kind of all over the place? Yeah. Was it, like you said, forced at times? Yeah. Did I like things? Yeah. Did I hate things? Yeah. I don't really care. I think the High Evolutionary should be the big bad of this, the way he was in Guardians 3. He was terrifying. But it's just my opinion. I don't really care either way.
I'm sure Jonathan Majors, the MCU, and what they're going to be doing is going to come up very soon. There's only one major movie next year, and that is Deadpool 3. So
just
there's
one, thank God.
A lot of time for discussion regarding what's going to happen. And I'm sure that'll come up in the new year. So with that said, we're going to shift gears into our yearly discussion. We're going to start with 2023, our current year. And we're just going to go around the table. We're each going to bring up something that was our favorite, talk about it a little bit, and move on. Try to get through as many as we can before we shift to 2024. Does anybody want to bring something up to start? Go ahead, Molly.
We're doing our favorites first.
Favorites of
Of the year.
2023.
Barbie.
I figured that was going to happen.
Gotta talk about it.
I think you're
Still haven't
getting
seen it.
a new song this weekend, or a Christmas version. Did you
Really?
see that? You're getting
Mm-mm.
a Christmas version of "I'm Just Ken."
Oh my god. Yay.
I forget which day it's coming out. I'll look.
But I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. I'm
Neither have
hoping
I.
that I can see it when they re-release it in theaters.
Same.
But so out of the two of those, I knew we would talk about both of them, but I wanted to bring up Barbie because that was probably my favorite thing that came out this year, movie-wise. It was just really, really funny, really moving, really poignant, really well done, and proved that marketing can make a huge difference for movies.
Yeah.
I don't think
Understatement.
I would be shocked if we ever see a marketing,
The
not
next
even
Hasbro
battle,
film.
but no, I'm talking about like the fact
with
of
like a head-to-head thing.
yeah, like that. I mean,
It's so crazy how well that worked for them.
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why it did so well was because of all the memes and
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I just watched the other day the actor on
Actors.
oh
Yeah.
and them were like, they were both just like, who would have ever thought these two polar
It's
opposite
wild.
movies would have, like, instead of just fighting each other, propelled
mhm.
each other to a whole different level. I mean, and they are literally opposites, complete polar opposites.
Yeah. I think that's why it did so well though, is because they were polar opposites. Because it's not
Yeah.
like it's not like oversaturated where it's like it's two comedies, it's two dramas. Like no one wants to see two dramas in one weekend.
Mm-mm.
But still haven't seen Barbie. It's on my
They're
list.
complementary. They're like
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
binary, but also complementary.
Mhm.
It's on Max, I believe, Jill.
I've got a lot of days off these next 2
Yeah,
weeks. So
I'm pretty sure it's available now.
I'm sure
I
I'll
gotta
end up
watch it again.
I haven't talked much about Barbie just because obviously a lot's happened with me over the fall, but I was kind of like middle ground with it, if I'm being honest.
It's not everyone's cup of tea.
I appreciated how much they went for it, and I appreciated like how all in they were on the idea. I just don't think it landed for me as much as like comedy wise as much as others did. I thought it was a very well done film. I thought the acting was very well done. I guess it just wasn't what I was expecting. I didn't hate it or anything. It's just like I'm glad I watched it. I just don't know if I'll ever watch it again. Yeah, it just wasn't my thing. So
It's fair enough. It's valid.
does anybody else want to go? Anybody else?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll shoot off a list because I'm thinking of things and they're gonna go away because my brain is not braining today. For me, the big things were TV.
Me too.
TV shows and documentaries were my big things this year. As far as TV shows go, we got House of the Dragon this past year, correct?
Oh my
Was
God,
this
that
past
was
year?
this-
No.
No.
That was The Last of Us.
We got The Last of Us this
We got The
year.
Last of Us.
There was one of them.
You
House
gave
of
me
the
a
Dragon
heart
was
attack.
last year.
I
House
was
of the
like-
Dragon was last year.
House of the Dragon was this year.
We got
Oh my
The
God.
Last of Us this year, which still for me has one of the best episodes of television
Mm.
in the history of television.
Mhm.
Just cannot wait for season 2. Documentaries. We got season 2 of The Vow this year. Did get that. That was this year. We got all the Twin Flames nonsense this year. We got so much crazy stuff. So many murder docs this year I watched. So that was my big thing. We got a new season of Kitchen Nightmares this year, you guys. Fucking wild. That I didn't think I'd ever see get new episodes again. Got that. That was an absolute treat. Not as good as the original series, but it has Gordon Ramsay in it, so I'm still gonna watch.
I
Is it
came home.
different?
I came home a few weeks ago, and Gabby was watching some Gordon Ramsay show.
Well, there's a lot on right now. There's
I don't know
Kitchen
what it was, but
Nightmares.
she was
There's
watching
Kitchen Nightmares
something.
and there's Hell's Kitchen that are on right now.
Yeah, I don't know which one she was watching, but she was watching something. Yeah.
So good. And then honestly, the only movies I can even remember seeing this year, and B, I liked them both. The live action Little Mermaid, amazing.
I actually really enjoyed it.
So freaking good. 10 out of 10. And then Saw X was a freaking surprise.
God.
And I loved every goddamn minute of it. It was so good. It was so good to have John Kramer back and to go back to the roots of Saw. It was great. So
You
good.
saw Songbirds and Snakes, right?
I did not. I have yet to see Songbirds and Snakes. I know. But it's going to be on VOD. Like, they're going to start, you can start streaming it, like, if you pay. Like,
it's so funny. I've
tomorrow.
never heard it actually pronounced VOD.
Yeah,
How do you pronounce it?
Don't even.
I just VOD is what I usually hear. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, hey, VOD works.
It's easier to say.
It works. It works.
It's easier to say.
I didn't know we were making a list of things. I just
wanted to, like I said, my brain is not braining today. So I'm like, I thought of this, I thought of this, I thought of this. And if I don't say them all at once, they're going to be gone.
No, so. You're fine. You're fine. And it's funny. Those are all very Jill-centric things, which is very
welcome.
fun.
Cults, murders, documentaries.
So it's weird to say that these are like my favorite things, but 2023 marked the end of 3 of my all-time favorite television shows. We got the last season for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We got the last season for Sex Education, and then we got a finale movie for a Netflix long-running show called The Last Kingdom. All 3 of those happened this year. So it's kind of like a bittersweet favorite. But for me, they all landed extremely well. And like it might have just been like my fanboyness for all of them. I've said it before. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is hands down one of my all-time favorite television shows, and I think that the ending was as beautiful as it could have been. And then the Last Kingdom and Sex Education were just as good, just right below it. But it's funny, and then I also kind of flipped to the movie side of it, and it. Hopefully this is the case, but the Indiana Jones franchise also kind of ended on a really strong note for me. I really enjoyed the Dial of Destiny, and hopefully it's the last time we ever see an Indiana Jones movie that is led by Indiana Jones. I don't want someone else playing that character.
At least an old man Indiana Jones.
Like I don't want anybody else playing that character. So yeah, it's like a bittersweet favorite, but I'm really glad we got it, because I obviously wasn't able to see a lot past July, family stuff. It's funny, Barbie was the last thing I saw in the theaters before Gabby and I went and saw The Hunger Games just a few weeks ago. So
did you like it?
Yeah. And so I wasn't able to catch up on movies as much as I like to usually. So that's why I was kind of flipping to TV, because I had a lot of time at home to watch television. So yeah. Those are a couple of my favorites. There's one more, but I'm going to save it just in case it's mentioned, so someone else can take the floor. Brian,
I have one more on my list that I forgot.
Go ahead.
Fall Out Boy came out with a new album this year, and it was amazing.
Okay.
You went to like 100 of their concerts.
Actually, Brian,
I went to one. Of their
I thought you went to like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, fair. I did see them play at the beginning of the year, but it wasn't a Fall Out Boy concert. It was a lot of people, but they happened to be there.
Before you go, Brian, I'm going to bring up Andy's comment. Andy said here, my faves of 2023. TV Shrinking, brilliant Apple show. Poker Face, Jury Duty, movie Joyride, Barbie, ATSV. What does that stand for?
I'll look it up.
Across the Spider-Verse? Across the Spider-Verse.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Songs Kazuno no Kiseki, Realize, Lisa, and Koi Gogar. I apologize if I'm butchering those.
Jury Duty was so hilarious.
Very, very good. It is very good. Yeah.
That concept is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But Brian, go ahead.
I mean, for me, it's obvious. For me, I got my second season of Heartstopper, which we know I'm obsessed with. And soon to be another exciting thing. The newest book comes out at midnight, so I will be at Target at 7:00 in the morning trying to get it. Trying to think off the top of my head of another TV show I had. Now I can't Think of it. It's because I got distracted and I was looking up the list and saw the traitors and made me think of you. And do you see the second trailer?
Yeah.
Second season? Yeah. That was actually a surprisingly good reality show. I could throw that out there. I didn't expect that.
Oh, the trait, yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. It was a fun little show that I was like, I binged through that pretty fast. Yeah. I don't know. This was probably one of my lower years for television, or excuse me, movies.
Yeah, I think maybe for me too.
I mean, because I keep track of them with Letterboxd, and I've only seen 15, which that's pretty low for me. As far as like new in theater movies. Although I can throw out Saltburn was my favorite movie of the year. Literally. Like, it was bat-ish crazy. I had no idea what I was going into when I saw that. I raved about it with Molly at our patron thing. That movie was insane. I would be curious. I think you would hate it if I had to guess. But there's a part of me that thinks that is very curious to see what you would think. But I mean, those are super fun to me when you go into a movie where it's like, oh, that looks good, but I have no idea what it's about, and then you come out of it like, holy crap, like, that was wild and really good. So that was, yeah. I that immediately afterwards, I was like, I wonder what he would think of it. That was like one of my first thoughts.
Wait for it to come out on VOD.
Yeah, VOD.
Yeah.
VOD's where it's at.
VOD.
It's so much more fun to say than VOD.
That's
like,
fair. That is fair.
I just say the whole thing.
It's VOD.
On demand.
VOD.
Or stream.
Any other favorites from? Look, we can discuss things outside of movies and television.
I was going to say life events. I've got a couple.
Yeah, going to London for Celebration was pretty dope.
That seems like so long ago.
I know, that was April, I think.
And then it makes me think of how long ago ours was. And it's even longer.
Yeah. Dragon Con for me, our 9-day Atlanta trip was a treat. Going back in May, I'm already getting that all. I'm already getting that all planned for next year.
I'm trying to think. I don't really. I mean, life event. I don't think I really had anything significant.
I got COVID for the first time.
Woo!
After being in London.
One of us.
Jake still hasn't gotten it yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I lied.
It was worth it, though. I shook a lot of hands.
It was a while ago, though. I don't know how long ago it was. Yeah, sorry, my life event trumps all you guys. The birth of my son is obviously number one.
Well,
yes. No question.
It's not a competition, Jay.
Oh, it 100% is. Bo's number one in everybody's heart. Come on now.
Bo is number one.
Easy money.
Number one.
Yeah, look, as much as I want to talk about entertainment and everything, I mean, that's hands down the biggest and the best. So
did I get my Botox today?
No, I don't believe so.
I need my Botox.
I saw a picture of him with a mustache.
I did see that, but that wasn't sent. That wasn't sent directly to us. So that does not count.
Yeah,
as Botox.
I put a mustache on him last night, which was great. It was a lot of fun. You should. I don't. I think I'm gonna keep the photos for Gabby and I. But he was in a bow tie over the weekend, which was pretty adorable.
No. Did you get him a tiny cowboy hat?
No, but he had a cowboy outfit on, so it was pretty adorable.
Did he have little boots?
He had jeans, suspenders, and a flannel on.
I want to see.
It was adorable. Yeah, so that's obviously number one. And as much as I love going to movies and watching television shows and everything, it's been a pretty big blessing. Life changed pretty quickly, but it's pretty incredible stuff. It really is. So, I don't think I talk about it much on here that much, just because I keep everything pretty private or between us and our group chats. But it's been a pretty incredible 2 months, which is wild to say. He's 11 weeks today, which is crazy.
I feel like it's been so much longer, but also just yesterday.
Yeah, he's 11 weeks, which is wild. It's going pretty quickly, but also not going quickly.
That's where I'm at too. I'm like, I feel like he
Yeah.
was just born yesterday, but I feel like he was born 9 years ago at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's wild. So he's gonna be walking within like a day. I guarantee it. Yeah. So yeah, that's my numero uno there. Yeah, the
I'm trying to look
lifeline.
through my pictures to see what else I did. I forgot I went to-
nothing is gonna trump a baby, but I found my wedding dress this year.
Yeah,
That is fair. That's
I
pretty
did
good.
get that. That's a pretty big life event for me.
Love it.
Oh, I
Not as
have
important as a baby, but
Yeah, I went to Yellowstone. That was a
That's
great
right.
trip.
Did
That was a really, really cool place to visit and explore. That was fun.
now I'm gonna go through mine now. Let's see.
while you
I
guys
am
are
tr-
looking, I'm gonna bring up Mike K's super chat. He's got his favorites here. Thank you, Mike, as always. 2023 favorites: movies, Oppenheimer, The Boy and the Heron, Godzilla -1, which I am chomping at the bit to see.
Oh, we're gonna go see that
according
tomorrow.
to Sean, it's spectacular.
Yeah, Sean, he actually texted me about it.
Yeah.
He just like texted me on the blues. Have you seen Godzilla -1 yet? And then he went this whole nerd fest. He's like, dude, I think it's the best one I've ever seen. I'm like, okay, Sean.
He's a
calm
big
down, calm down.
Godzilla fan.
TV wise, Blue Eye Samurai, My Adventures with Superman, Moon Girl, and Devil Dinosaur. Interesting. Thank you, Mike.
I've
for the
heard
information.
Moon Girl is
I never even heard of it.
it's a like a is it still called Disney Junior? What's it called now? But I think it's on like, or it might even be Disney XD. I don't know, but it's like a kid Marvel show.
Just quickly,
I believe it's correct me if I'm wrong, but
it hasn't been mentioned yet. And before we move on to 2024 stuff here, I just want to make sure it gets mentioned. Ahsoka, duh.
I was gonna say it, but I figured that you would probably say
for
it,
an
so I
Ahsoka
waited.
fanatic like myself, duh. And for all of us
Did.
Star Wars Rebels fans, I mean, yeah, fantastic.
I was gonna save my Star Wars talk for what's coming next year.
Yeah, no, that's why I just wanted to quickly mention it. Some people get pretty pissed off if we talk about Disney too much on this channel, so there's our Disney talk for now.
I've thought of one, but I'm not going to share. So I did have one. I was sitting here this whole time going, God, I had nothing happen this year.
I didn't either. Oh, I got this tattoo this year. I didn't really have a whole lot going on this year.
Yeah.
Next year will be different.
I will not be sharing with the class on that one. But what was my other thing I was going to say? That's gone. Gone.
See, that's why I listed it all at the same time, because otherwise it would just disappear.
Curtis, I forgot about that. I did. That was early in the year.
When did you get pepper sprayed?
There was this fight at school.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh my God. I love that you guys can remember things that happened to me that I completely forgot. That is so funny. I completely forgot about that.
I appreciate that ours is like, I went to London. I found my wedding dress. I had a baby. I got pepper sprayed.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, my life. not as thrilling, but yeah, that was funny. I did rediscover my love of reading. How about that?
That's a good one.
I hit my goal. I did on Goodreads. You set a goal of how many books you want to read for the year, and I tried to do one for each month, and I hit that. In fact, I might hit 13. So yeah, that was kind of fun. That came out of nowhere, and yeah, I would love to kind of maybe even talk about certain books. Molly, I can't wait for you to get into that series. When I saw that,
I started a
Court of Thorns and Roses.
A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm only like 7 or 8 chapters in, but I am really digging it so far.
Dude, I get it. Like at first I was so anti those books because I don't like ironic fairies. I don't know why. Maybe because of True Blood, it kind of just turned me off on it. But if you can read those with just kind of like ignoring that fact, those books are insane. Like
Yeah.
Hulu, I don't know what is taking you so long to make the TV series, but hurry the hell up because it is insane. And Molly, it is so naughty sometimes. I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. Like, it's, yeah.
Alex keeps asking me if I've gotten to the smut yet, and I'm like, no.
It's,
I will tell you when I have.
it's in. I don't know how much the first book is a little bit lighter on it, but the further you get, it's just like its own chapter in the book.
I've heard the second book is the wildest, so I'm excited to get to that one.
Yeah, probably. It's yeah. I personally, so one thing I discovered this year is this website called Graphic Audio, which they basically take books and they create basically a movie with the audiobook. Like Star Wars does a really good job, but this one has like a whole cast, sound effects, like song, like music, like it's insane.
Are there visuals or no?
No, it's called their tagline is a movie in your mind.
Okay.
So you're literally just listening to it, but every character has a different voice. No one is saying like it's not like a traditional audiobook where it's just one person reading the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Every character has an actor's voice, has sound effects, has a like soundtrack and stuff. And that's how I listened to these. And it was the coolest thing. I have never burned through like an audiobook book series. So and these are not thin books. Mm-hmm. These things are like honkers. So yeah, if anyone isn't, I've been trying to find someone to talk to about these. So yeah, recommend. That's a good, that was a good one for me to put out there this year. Try that.
All right. Well, before we transition into 2024 stuff, I'll read the next two super chats that we have here. One from one of our members, Rachel here. Hello, Rachel. Since we are wrapping up the year, happy birthday in advance to John Pierce and Jeremy Miller. Happy birthday.
Well, happy early birthdays.
Thank you. Both of them join us regularly, so thank you. And the next one here is from Chuck. What's up, Chuck? A happy holiday to all and happy to see the ever-growing View crew here. It's good to see you too, Chuck.
It's been a minute.
You too.
Hi, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to some 2024 stuff, some movies, television, things we might be looking forward to. Molly, you mentioned some possible Star Wars talk. Let's go ahead and get into that.
The Acolyte is probably my number one. Star Wars or non-Star Wars. Like, I am, after seeing the footage we saw at Celebration, I'm so freaking excited for that show. That and Skeleton Crew, but we're not really sure when we're getting either of those, but hopefully it'll be, the rumor is towards the end of next year is when we might be getting Skeleton Crew, but
I feel like that one's going to be like a multi-year where it's like end of November into like the first 2 weeks of January or something weird like that.
Kind of like what they did with Book of Boba Fett. It kind of like went over the span of 2 years, but those are the ones I'm most excited for. And then Avatar, The Last Airbender.
That's right.
I keep forgetting. It's so close.
February 22nd.
Oh my God, February.
It looks so good.
Are they doing the Netflix thing where they drop it all at once? Because I don't think they should.
I don't know.
Hope they don't.
I hope they don't either. I hope they don't.
I would be kind of bummed actually if they do that.
Me too. Hopefully they space it out.
I like to savor.
Me too.
I feel like you lose something when you binge it, as fun as it is to just go through it. But when you have to like wait a week to pick up on things you missed, and maybe you'll watch it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not all at the same time. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Completely
We're also
agree.
getting House of the Dragon season 2.
Are you guys talking about
Yeah.
the Acolyte? Sorry.
We did. We talked about Acolyte. We talked about Skeleton Crew. We talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender.
The one
Avatar,
that you
yeah.
guys were talking about dropping all at once was what?
Avatar.
We're hoping it wasn't Avatar.
We're hoping it because it's Netflix, so we're hoping
Avatar,
it
it'll
doesn't.
100% be binge. Yeah.
Ugh, it's so dumb. It shouldn't.
That's Netflix model. What are you guys talking about? That's Netflix's
No,
model.
because with
No, they
Stranger Things, they did half, and they did half for.
Yeah, they
for,
did it in part 1 and part 2.
for
You
all the
did
reality shows for the Suicide
Well,
Squad.
in reality
Suicide Squad,
they do 3 or 4, but I bet you they'll drop at least 4 episodes and then another 4.
That's fine as long as it's not the entire season.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's all of them.
Andy, was One Piece dropped all at once? I don't think it was. I think they
Most of Netflix properties are dropped all at once.
I think it
which is
was
why.
so dumb.
I think One Piece was all at the same time.
And to be fair, just to argue the devil advocate, the most recent Stranger Things season is the only one they've ever split up like that.
Well, because
Yeah,
the
'cause, like,
last
every episode
was
was so
3 hours long.
I know that's why they did it. That's what I'm saying.
I think you got split up. Season 4 of you, didn't it get you half and half?
Well, but they did a part 1 season and a part 2 season.
I haven't
That's
watched
different.
it yet. I just thought.
Yeah, that's different than splitting the season. Like you did like 8 episodes and 8 episodes. Like some of the more popular shows that Netflix do, they're now doubling down, kind of like what Breaking Bad did back in the day. For their final season, they did 12 episodes and 12 episodes and called it part 1 and part 2. Netflix is kind of getting into it a little bit, and it's annoying because it's basically a season 5 and season 6. Like, it's but anyway, sorry, didn't mean to derail the conversation.
Yeah, those are the big like shows that I'm excited for.
You forgot one. We finally get Agatha next year.
Oh yeah,
right around spooky season.
That's gonna be a good one too. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
I cannot wait. I'm gonna count it just because it's literally only going to be 11 days left of the year. And I know multiple people have said it in the chat. The Percy Jackson show. I know it's coming out Wednesday, but there's literally only going to be like 11. More than 75% of it is going to be released in 2024. So I'm going to say that because I read the books this year and I get it. I get the hype around that series, and everything I've seen from it so far looks spot on. Like, I don't think it could have been done at a better time, and I can't wait. I think this show is going to explode. It's going to be the new, like,
that's what they're hoping.
YA thing. So
Yeah,
I hope
that's what
so
they're hoping.
because this man has made a universe out of like myths and fable. This type of like his world could go on for like decades if done correctly. Like he's got, I think, at least 5 or 6 different like book series about mythology. Like he's got Greek, Roman, Nordic, like, and it just keeps going. So yeah, I can't wait. Have I seen Gordon? I saw the first movie. I will not watch the second one. That's all I need to say about it.
I did forget one movie real quick. The
Two.
Joker sequel.
Ooh, Lady Gaga.
That's right.
Just for Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
I actually liked the first Joker movie, so like I would go see it. I'd see it anyways for that, but Gaga.
I don't think I've ever come out of a movie more like uncomfortable than that.
I love
first
those
Joker
kinds of
movie.
movies.
I like movies like that, so I feel like I would really like it, but I haven't seen it yet. One movie I forgot for next year for my theater kids out there. Wicked Part 1 comes out at the end of 2024.
What?
Mm.
Yeah, Wicked.
Oh, Wicked. I didn't hear what you said at first. I was like, what? I thought you said weight gain. I'm like, what?
No, Wicked. Wicked Part 1 comes out at the end of next
Is
year.
it a part 1? It's a part 1 now?
It's part 1 of part
It's always
2.
been split.
It's always been 2 parts, yeah.
Guys, I'm out of it.
Because the book is I'm sure they're gonna go more off the musical, but obviously because it's a musical movie, but the book is like this big.
Is the book actually called Wicked, or is it?
It's called Wicked, yeah.
Mhm.
Was that John Woo?
Yes,
Right? John Woo, I think.
I think
Oh, you're
Ariana
right.
Grande is
I'm pretty sure it is.
Glinda.
558 pages.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, The Acolyte is definitely I stepped away when Molly brought it up, but John Chu, thank you, Mike K, thank you.
We didn't really talk about Acolyte. I just mentioned it.
No, and I just wanted to quickly say that I'm extremely looking forward to that show as well. Just a different side of Star Wars I don't think we've ever seen before, which I'm very much looking forward to. And I think what they've done most recently with some of the projects, how different they've been, is setting for that up to be very exciting as well. Everyone knows I'm a massive TV person. I can't name off shows I'm looking forward to because I pretty much watch everything that's out there. There will be a show that just pops up on the service, and I'll give it a shot. So I'm not going to mention TV outside of The Acolyte. I will mention 3 movies that are easily 3 of my most anticipated movies over the last I don't know how long. You have Dune Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 movies that come out on the same day, which I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. You have Furiosa, and you have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. 3 movies that are completely and 100% set up for myself, and I will believe nothing else. I think they were all made for me and me only. I cannot wait to sit down and watch these movies because I already told Gabby, look, I don't care what we're doing. I don't care what I have to do, but I am getting those days off to watch those movies. I am getting a chance to watch these movies in a movie theater, and there are no other questions.
Do you think, excuse me, one of them will move dates? Or is it...
No.
Oh, you do?
So.
Yeah. I think one of them will either push forward a week or push back a week. It won't be a massive change, but it'll shift a little bit. If they don't, then I don't care. I'm watching double feature.
I was going to ask, are you someone who would watch those 2 in the same day, or
100%.
would you? Because I feel like that would maybe take away from the first one that you
I wouldn't go
watched.
back to back.
Because they're both gonna be like fairly intense.
So I don't know if you guys saw it. I doubt you guys saw it today, but Wes Ball, the director of the Planet of the Apes movie, because Empire did a whole spread on Kingdom, and they dropped new images and some quotes and stuff. He said he went into the studio, and this is how he pitched. He pitched Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes by saying Apocalypto with apes. And I'm sure
the
none
Mel
of you have seen
Gibson
Apocalypto, which
the
is
Mel
fine.
Gibson one?
But yes.
Okay.
If you know Apocalypto and then you combine that with Planet of the Apes, my God, that is, woo. And then Furiosa. I mean, Anya Taylor-Joy playing Furiosa, Chris Hemsworth playing the villain.
Furiosa actually looks pretty good.
You know, George Miller
Yeah.
returning to direct. The film looks beautiful. And then I don't have to speak much on Dune. It was supposed to come out 2 months ago, got pushed back. I still have yet to see a single frame of footage for that movie. 2024, the beginning of 2024 is going to be incredible.
If Dune would have came out on its original day, would Bo have been born before or after? I don't remember the original date.
He would have been born a week before.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's good they pushed it.
I was thinking the same thing.
I told you the movie is made for me.
No, I know, but I'm
They're
saying
like, oh, Jake Berlin had his baby. We got to push
I'm
it
telling
back.
you, I believe nothing else.
I remember how mad you were, but I think it might work out in the end.
I refuse to believe anything else. The movie is literally made for me. There's no joke.
I can't wait. I know you're not watching trailers, but they look fantastic.
My last thing I'm looking forward to next year is I'm getting married.
Yay!
Huzzah.
Pretty valid.
That's my excited for 2020.
Although that means you're not doing Dragon Con again. Boo.
I'm not doing Dragon Con again. I know. It's the one
But
downside.
it's the one good reason, I guess.
The one good reason.
I'm looking. That's the one thing I'm looking forward to in 2024 is to getting that invite.
It's coming.
Thank God you chose the date that you did, by the way. Because Bo's birthday is
why?
2 weeks before.
Oh.
I have never in my Jake's wedding is the only wedding outside of like I think an aunt and an uncle and a cousin that I've been to. So like I'm not a seasoned vet when it comes to weddings. I have 3 within a span of 4 weeks.
That was me last year.
And I've never in my life, and I'm just like, and they're all like 2 are LA, 1 is I don't even remember the other one. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I don't know. I'm kind of excited. Kind of like, oh boy, a lot of driving to LA. For me, there's a bunch. I won't go too far with it. There's a bunch of like books for me that I'm looking forward to next year. My new favorite book series ends in April, of course. Right when you discover something, right, it always ends. TV. I forget what.
Did you mention the book series?
No, because I mean it's.
You just don't want to name drop it?
I don't care. I just don't know how much people care about book series and stuff.
I don't think people care about me freaking out about Planet of the Apes, but I did it.
Yeah, more people are watching Planet of the Apes. It's called the Bergman Brothers series. I've debated putting up videos about the books I read this year, but let's see what else. There was another show that I was trying to think of. What is it? I mean, Echo looks cool, but that wasn't the one I was thinking of. I thought I had it. Maybe not.
Oh, there's a new season of True Detective coming out next year.
Mm-hmm. Jodie Foster.
Yeah, I love that show, and I love how different it is every season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Did you like season 2? That was the Vince Vaughn, Taylor Kitsch one. Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, it was okay. It's hard to top the first season, in my opinion. So it was still really good, but I kept comparing it to season 1, and I was like, eh.
Did you like 3 with Mahershala Ali?
Yes.
I really liked that season.
Yeah,
So
that was a really good one.
Yeah, I hope they kind of just like keep up the momentum, even though it's been a while. You're right. The show could be really cool because it's different every season.
Mm-hmm.
And there's such long breaks, I love that there's such long breaks.
Yeah, every time I hear there's going to be a new one, I'm like, oh yeah, it gets me really excited.
Yeah.
This is going to irritate me. I'm going to remember it once we end it, but that's fine.
There's Mr. and Mrs. Smith comes out in February. That one looks pretty good.
I'm so curious about that show. I'm so curious about it.
Oh, doesn't that It spin-off show come out next year?
Welcome to Derry.
Ooh.
Yeah. Does that come out?
Is it Derry? Is it Derry?
Yeah.
Derry is this.
Yeah, it's Welcome to Derry comes out this year as well. Jill, you mentioned it. House of Dragon season 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be talking about that here. Yeah, there's a lot of good television. I mean, there always is. Like, it's hard to talk about TV because TV gets promoted so differently from movies. Like, I don't know what's coming out next fall for TV, but I know I'm going to watch a lot of it. Like, I know I'm going to just eat it all up. Whether
the
it
Fallout show. That's what I was trying to think of.
Probably we'll skip that one. I don't know. It depends on if Alex wants to watch it because I'm like, I didn't play those games, so I'm like,
You don't want to watch an apocalyptic show? That's surprising.
Oh, it was brought up in the chat, and I got to bring it up. But Masters of the Air looks fantastic on Apple.
What is that?
Has anybody watched Band of Brothers?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's a
fighter
pilot version of Band of Brothers from the same creators, and I'm gonna eat that all up. The Boys season 4.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I keep seeing previews for Masters of the Air every time we watch
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
Dude, this last week's episode,
Oh,
Are
it
you
was
enjoying
so
this
good.
season?
I'm eating it up.
Okay,
Eating it up.
so I'm watching it also.
Dude.
I'm having a hard time with this season.
Nah,
It's a little depressing for me. Like, it's a little sad to just see all of
They're all
our
old.
favorite
people are
characters.
Not
old.
even that.
Like,
Maybe it's just like
the way Ed is going full Colonel Ty
I love it. I love it.
is so good.
The turn this last week that he made, I love it so much.
Maybe it's a good, like, one of those things where it's like they're playing the character so well that you hate him. But I'm drawing a blank. The new guy that keeps stirring up the pot on Mars.
Oh, Miles.
Oh my god, yeah.
I'm like, I hope you get thrown out the airlock. Like, it's just like he's driving me nuts. And
it's
I don't know.
reminding me of Breaking Bad, Heisenberg. Just like the way you kind of rooted for him in the beginning, and then you're like, no.
He's driving me up the wall. Like,
Toby Kebbell's fantastic.
which, I mean, that's probably like the point where you're just like, okay, this guy needs to he needs to go.
Mhm.
Like, get this guy out of here. Deadpool. I mean,
Yeah, Deadpool's gonna be cool. Deadpool's gonna be really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Deadpool a lot. I love Sean Levy as a director so much. I think he does such great work, and he's been working with Ryan Reynolds the last like 4 projects or something, and they clearly like each other. So, but then you throw Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the mix, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good time.
I feel like this is going to be the movie that people expected Multiverse of Madness to be.
Depends on what it looks like. I don't think it'll be as multiversal as Multiverse of Madness.
Well, I think more so just like random people showing up and just being like, "Oh, my God."
I hope random people don't show up like that, though. I don't.
Yeah,
want
but wouldn't it be kind of funny though if they're actually killing them all though? Like, I think it would be kind of like if the cameo is literally just for like, because it's literally going to be Deadpool kills the Fox universe. So like, I don't know. I'm curious to see how they do it.
I don't know. I won't watch the trailer, so I'm not going to know until July or whatever it comes out. I'll have no clue.
We're also getting Beetlejuice 2.
That's right.
We're getting.
Side note, just because you're talking about Beetlejuice, I apologize, but I don't think you two saw it. But they're doing Wednesday spinoffs on Netflix.
Oh.
How? What's going on?
I never watched what.
I didn't. I didn't watch it either.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I never watched it.
It was
jeez.
fantastic.
Okay, comment, Jesus.
Jake, I don't know how thrilled I am of who it's about though.
No,
Like
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
It's
on the uncle. It's not a spoiler, but it's on the uncle,
Yeah,
whatever his name is.
Uncle Fester.
There you go.
Oh,
Fester.
yeah. Okay, I heard
Interesting.
about that.
Who's played by Fred
Maybe-
Armisen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch him in just about anything. So
No, he's
do
great.
want to
He's
check it
only
out.
in the show for like 2 episodes, but he's so good.
Did you
so
guys see the picture of William Dafoe that came out today from
Yeah,
the
Jessica
Nosferatu?
Yeah.
That movie's gonna rock.
Can you hear
That
the basic
movie's
white
gonna
girls?
rock.
Yes. Yes.
What?
I said, can you hear the basic white girls?
Oh, they do.
They're singing on a brew bike in the pouring rain. Is Gladiator 2 next year, or is that
Sadly.
25? I know how you feel. I'm just excited for Paul Mescal. I'll watch anything he's in.
A Quiet Place Day 1 is coming out next year. I don't really know anything about that one.
It stars Lupita Nyong'o.
Ooh, I love her.
I never
think
saw
it takes place
part
in
2.
Europe. It's not it's like a different place. I think Cillian Murphy's it. Oh, I know he was in the last one.
They're
Wasn't he?
gonna do a third one with Emily Blunt and Cillian Murphy. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sorry, now I'm just looking at a list. Challengers, that super horny movie that everybody's excited about.
Yes.
That one's gonna be good.
Jake, I'm surprised you didn't say Godzilla.
Which
I mean, I'm looking forward to,
First
but there's 3
Kong.
movies I'm looking forward to more.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm looking forward to Godzilla and Kong just for the sake that Kong's gonna get his arm ripped off and then get an Infinity Gauntlet to punch the shit out of another Kong, which I cannot wait to see. So, and I didn't mention it earlier, but someone brought it up. And just speaking of Godzilla, if you are interested in the Godzilla universe, the current one running, I highly, 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 highly recommend Monarch: Legacy of Monsters on Apple. It's great.
So I
Really,
just
really good. So
watched Godzilla 2014 last night. I swear I've seen it. Like there were parts where I was like, I think I've seen this. It was fantastic. So that's my next thing that I'm going after.
well, you got to watch the rest of them before you watch. Just
I've seen all of them.
Okay.
But for some reason my mind thought that I skipped the original Godzilla and just started at Skull Island.
Yeah.
So I just rewatched it last night and it was freaking awesome. Molly, you get Twisters.
I
Next
saw
year.
that and I was like,
Ooh.
we'll see.
Isn't someone big in that one? Didn't they?
There's a lot of big people in that one, but Daisy Edgar Jones is the lead. She's playing the daughter. Look, we could go on and on and on. There's a lot coming out. Obviously, a new year always brings a lot of new stuff, and I'm sure we'll talk about it on a weekly basis. Whether we're watching stuff or previewing stuff or reviewing stuff. We do it here on the public channel. We also do it on our Patreon as well. I know that we have done previous TV show reviews. We'll probably bring them back just for specific shows next year. Brian and I have also taken part in some episode reactions, if you're curious in that. So TV shows.
Debated, should I do one for Percy Jackson?
We'll ask the patrons on the side, not here. We'll send a
well, maybe it'll hook some people that aren't patrons.
But we do specific show reactions on the Patreon. We did stuff like Marvel and Star Wars, obviously, to start off to get our bearings straight, and then I'm sure we'll lead into some other stuff like possibly House of the Dragon next year, which could be a big one. So make sure you're checking out our Patreon. A lot of cool stuff coming. We took off this month because we have been so busy. Mainly the girls have been so busy. And we're going to catch back up in January with a lot of cool stuff, which we're very excited about. So let's go and do just a quick social media plug for all of us, since this is our final show of the year. And then we'll do a wrap up before we wrap it up officially. So, Jill, where can everyone find you for the rest of 2023?
Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's on Twitter and Instagram. Another fun thing that happened this year is we started Rookies and Rulebooks finally.
Yeah.
And we have, I believe the next episode will be on the 30th. I believe that's the day we have scheduled.
And you guys are live.
We are live. Yes,
show.
we do a couple of pre-recorded one-on-ones with Sean, but the actual campaign stuff is live on both YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear more of Jess's questions.
They're so good.
I just like listening to her talk.
They're so good, and how everything is measured now in Volkswagens because they don't use feet in New Zealand. So
When I was watching, when that the first initial realization of like, oh wait, he has no idea what
all of us went, oh
conversions
shit.
are. Yeah, everyone's face was just like, oh no. That was so funny.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah, Sean was like, that didn't occur to me.
Oopsies.
And Brian.
I'm barely on social media, but if I am, it's B of Alicino. I think on everything. So, yeah.
Molly.
You can find me at Molly Damon on Twitter, at Molly Mander on Instagram, and over on Star Wars Explained, talking Star Wars. Although we just did our last Lego live stream of the year, so we won't be doing any more live streams till next year. But still got videos coming out.
You punched the crap out of the that corner on your last one where you're like pushing it in and it shot off. I was laughing so hard at that.
I feel like because my nails are so long, like the way I have to like push Legos in, it's like my fingers slip really easily, and I was just
glad you didn't the whole entire thing. That would have been bad.
I was on the struggle bus that day.
Yeah.
You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's. Someone else took it before I did. Twitter and Instagram. You can find POV all over the place. We are doing Twitter, well, X. We're doing Instagram, which we have an official Instagram if you want to go ahead and follow that. We have a TikTok and we have a Threads. They're all at Certain POV Crew. So
Threads.
Certain POV Crew, I'm trying my best. We're trying our best to post to all of them for people who have preferences. So make sure you're following us everywhere all over that. Again, you could check out the Patreon. The link is in our description. Lots of great people over there. Our Discord is rocking. It's a lot of fun, a lot of good conversations going on. And 2024 is going to be a big year for us with a bunch of new content coming everyone's way. So to everyone who's joined this year in 2023, we appreciate you guys. We've found a lot of new people this year, a lot of new followers, a lot of new patrons. We can't thank you guys enough for just enjoying it, watching, commenting along. It's been a blast just to have the interaction with you all. We hope everyone has a great Christmas, whether you're celebrating with friends, family, whoever else it might be. And of course, a happy new year. Stay safe, make the right decisions, but also have fun doing it. We'll be back in the beginning of 24. We're going to take a few weeks off, catch our bearings, and we'll be back stronger than ever. So again, to everyone watching, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your year, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.